Hello, you guys. How's everybody? I mean, it's closer. Okay. Ooh. Check. Can you guys hear? Does it sound okay? Just check in, doing sound check. Let me know if you guys can hear anything. Yeah. I cannot see. Oh, hey, Michael. Oh, okay. Great. Hi.
Steve is here.
Michelle. Hi, Steve. Melissa.
Can't see them.
Everybody else? You can't see it? Okay. Hope you guys are all having a great Sunday.
Yeah, happy Sunday, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. Okay. Right.
Oh,
Happy Sunday. Sorry we missed you guys last week. We tried to get out of town
oh my gosh.
for Valentine's Day.
Can I just, let me take a moment. Totally nothing to do with the occult here. Okay, but the weekend we had, the hotel we went to, how was that, Abammon?
Yeah, we just booked a really gnarly hotel, so our getting out of town didn't really work out the way we wanted it to. So we ended up driving back in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
The hotel was terrible.
Yeah, I posted pictures about it online, and to that hotel, motel, no-tell piece of shit. Shame on you guys. Yeah. And I will die on this hill. You will refund my money.
They want that was the insult to injury. It wasn't that the hotel was bad. It was that they wouldn't give us back.
It was not bad. It was a legitimate health hazard, biohazard.
Yeah.
Like, and I don't complain about that kind of stuff.
There's pee in the bed, bugs all over the room.
Like $500.
That's gross. Yeah. And they wouldn't give us back the $500.
And we turned around. We didn't even take our luggage in. We went and looked at the room and then nope. And they're like, no.
Yeah.
And they won't give us our money back.
They won't give us the money back. That's what's crappy about it.
So this whole week I have spent contacting every goddamn authority possible, and reporting them and posting it on social media, because I will get my money back one way or another. Anyhow, and you guys, Harbor Inn in San Diego or in Oceanside.
Yeah, Oceanside.
Gross. Anyhow,
yeah,
but it was fun. It's a funny story now, I guess. I was really mad at the time, but now I'm kind of
moving on.
Yeah.
Yes. So, Mishael, I'm the magician formerly known as Ericy99.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. That is great. Looks like we have somebody doing an assumption right now.
Ooh.
Coming into their magical selves, adopting their magical identity, which is great. Their initiatory name is beautiful. Love that.
Right.
Steve, welcome. Saw all your comments recommending a lot of good music.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Thanks.
Steve. Sarah, nice to see you.
Yep.
I've been sick for 3 weeks.
Oh.
Yeah, I feel that when I get sick, I'm sick for 3-4 weeks.
That's why I didn't go to work. Because that would happen if I just didn't sleep for 2 days straight. Yeah.
Melissa is here. All right. It's nice to see you guys. So very excited to see you guys. Obviously, there's been a lot going on the channel. You guys kind of now are seeing what we've been working on in the background for the past year. We've been getting ready for all of this. But this is our first Occult Magical Sunday service organized as Temple Kht. And that is basically an arm of the college, the nonprofit. And so it's the kind of religious services, the ministerial services in the community. So for those of you that have applied for church memberships, you may have got, I've approved basically all of them, but you can go to collegeofmagicians.org/service and apply for membership within the temple. And there you'll start receiving indoctrination documents. I think there's like one. You'll get a membership ID, and then as we move forward, you'll start getting materials in order to, be an official member. But there's also the newsletter and the ritual invocation that I printed out from, if you've gone onto your dashboard as a temple member. And what's the point of this? This is, the temple is all...
How much does it cost?
It's free.
It's free.
It's free.
Yeah,
yes.
okay, that part.
It's all free. The whole point of it is to organize as a spiritual community or whatever.
Right.
It basically just what we've been doing, but together as a community already for the past half a year or whatever it is. But having an institution that we can all kind of like fall back on, and the goal, the vision for the future is to for people that want to get more involved, is to have pathways for people to go into clergy, basically do the same thing that we're doing,
right?
That kind of stuff.
Yeah, ministerial work. To be able to support your local
community,
right.
Organize your own communities and that kind of stuff. We know some of you have made appearance like, well, how do I do this? I want to do this as a vocation, and we've kind of just been like,
we can't say, cause...
like we can't. We're setting it up so that we're trying to set it up so that there's pathways available for people that want to take it seriously and do what we're doing. There's an institution that's backing you and that kind of stuff.
Right.
So that's the whole point of the temple. It's open to everybody. It is it's magical, it's esoteric, it's occult. So it doesn't matter what path you're on, whether you're a traditional witch, a ceremonial magician, or
Hi, Stephanie.
Pagan. This is a pathway for people to take us seriously as, our religious contemporaries, whether they be Christians. I think what we do is a lot more serious than your evangelical, non-denominational, wearing ripped jeans and doing a speedboat raffle in the lobby. I think what we're doing is we should have the same kind of institutional backing. So
right. And protections.
Yes, and protections. So I'm very excited to be working on this community with you guys. I'm so glad that you guys come. This is impossible without you guys. And so, let's get involved. Let's work together.
Right. It's more than ever, right?
Yes.
Right now.
So our first, right now, we have the Sunday services. We're moving through Temple Kht. We will be doing full moon rituals. Pagan holidays will be celebrated with Temple Kht, and we are doing an annual initiation cycle. So there is a limited capacity on the initiation cycle, which starts on the spring equinox. We're initiating into the mysteries of Isis and Osiris, which is a classical mystery religion initiation. It is one that I've gone through myself, and I have walked many other groups of people through before. I kind of specialize in these mysteries. It's the initiation process is kind of a reconstruction of what was happening in the classical world, paired with my personal experience. It is an intense process, but you have to be a member of the Temple Kht in order to apply for the spring equinox, which starts in 1 month, right? So if you want to go through that initiation, it's going to be a small group of 10 people.
Max.
It's not for max. It's not for the faint of heart. There will be an interview process. And, if you don't make it into the group, don't worry. We're going to be doing it annually and still working with the group. So I know a few of you have already applied for the initiation cycle. But it is something that look forward to. Let's get involved in it. I want to, by the end of the year, have a batch of 10 initiates that can, do what me and Dr. Stone are doing, go out there, spread the word, spread the light, and, initiate other people, right?
But not like the Christians do it.
Not like Christian, not evangelizing or proselytizing, but just helping
be there
and being of service and that kind of stuff.
And it pops up. Let me just say how it pops up. I was on Facebook last night, and I'm in a group for my local community just because I'm a parent here. My kid goes to school here and stuff. And I saw a post in the Facebook group saying, hey, and it was by an anonymous member, but they were asking for some people in the area to study woo-woo stuff with. And some people had responded back and started talking about different things that weren't so woo-woo, but more like what we do. And so I went ahead and was like, hey, actually, my husband and I are here in Lakewood, and we do this, and now we have more people. That just happened. Like, I mean, just last night. So now I got some people adding, me as friends now that are interested in learning more about it. So, like, that's what we mean when we say spread it to those that want to hear about it, Yeah. Don't do the flat. Yeah.
Well, getting the community together. Yeah. So today's sermon, or the theme this Sunday, what you're talking about, Melissa, getting a community together and that kind of stuff. So if you guys have listened to the Cyrus Ryan episode, I know it's a little out of left field from what we usually talk about, but his strain of esotericism and occultism is highly relevant, highly influential to basically all of Western occultism. So it was nice to have him on, but he was specifically talking about, in that interview, the role of lodges, groups, initiatory orders in the world, and why they exist and how they exist. It's this kind of like beam of light that cuts through this dark miasma that surrounds the earth, and that is our role. So Melissa, when you are talking about getting the community together, Kht saying that getting the community together, that is what we're doing. And the thing is, everybody here is a magician, right? You guys are not parishioners to a pastor or a preacher. You guys are just as actively involved as we are, right? And so the point of getting together as a community and as a group is lifting each other up, because you guys know how to perform rituals. You guys know how to perform magic. You guys know how to divine and get messages and that kind of stuff. And so having the institution that is backing you guys, backing us, right? So that you guys can do the same thing, right? So we have the core community. We're lifting each other up. Melissa, you are out there in Texas, and you are performing things the way that you need to perform things, and really helping people, because right now we need people like us. We need mystics. We need occultists. We need esotericists, witches, wizards, magicians, whatever it is. We need these people to be present, because everybody's confused right now and
overwhelmed.
You can't really trust the institutions that exist at this point, right? Like
really?
the traditional institutions in the religious spheres, sometimes that can re-traumatize what everybody's collectively going through at the moment. Right?
Yes, the silence, the refusal to admonish said behaviors that are now, out in the open and have come to light. Where are the churches on this? Where are the churches about this stuff? I have heard nothing. The Church of Satan I've heard about. I've heard their stance on it. Of course, go figure. But the Christian churches, I haven't heard anything. And that to me is the same as condoning it. I'm sorry, and so if you were to search for help there, you very well may be gaslit into believing that it's not bad, that things are fine, and that it's misinformation, whatever the narrative is. So that can be re-traumatizing and even more destabilizing. Right?
So you guys are a different breed of human. You are humans that are active in your spiritual progress. You are humans that are active in your connection to the other side. Even if you call yourself a quote unquote beginner, the fact that you are seeking means that you are more advanced than the next person. Right. And so we have a responsibility as people that are aware of these things and can see these things. We need to be able to stand up and be there for people. We have to be resilient. And that's what we're going to be dealing with today and addressing today with Mott's. I know a lot of people, especially sensitives, people like us, people that have visions and can see and can feel extrasensory things. A lot of you might be going through a lot of stress and turmoil right now about what is happening in the world and what everybody's kind of waking up to. I'm gonna just be honest. I've been really bad. Like, it's been bad for me. Like, I thought I knew, I did know I was right. All my conspiracy theories, unfortunately, have been proven true, which sucks. Like, this is not something I wanted to be right about. And not only that, not only was I right, I was like, I lowballed it. Like, I had lowballed how bad it was. Like, now I see with my own eyes that all of the powers that be were in on it, and like every single level, you know what I mean? It's all infiltrated, right? So that's hard. And I have had a really hard week. It's been hard for me. Like, I finally came to him 2 days ago and was like, look, I'm having issues. I'm having nightmares. I can't eat. Like,
the things I've read. I didn't go deep either. I didn't subject myself to too much of it, but it didn't matter because as soon as I saw it, I was like flooded with stuff that I didn't want to know about. And so if you guys are feeling that or having that happen to you too, oh my gosh, just know you're not alone in that regard, right?
You're not alone, yes.
Yeah.
Well, welcome Pancake Mix,
Yeah.
Malbig. Dude, we are owed apologies for how right.
I know. And I've gotten some. My oldest daughter and her best friend did message me and they were like, oh, okay, hey, so I guess you weren't crazy. I was like, and I couldn't even take that win. Like I normally would be like, I told you, but I can't because, dude, the answer, like I would prefer that I was crazy in this case. Like that's a much better outcome. Like if it was just, oh, Anna's crazy, that is, I can handle that, right? Like, but it's what is the fact that I'm not crazy and that it's even worse than what I was originally saying.
Yes.
Sucks. It's really hard. And
so we have to address that again. I know the last Sunday service we kind of addressed it a little bit about like how not engaging in it, but we have to stand up as leaders. You guys are leaders, right? Occultists, mystics. We are the first ones to see what's coming, right?
Right.
And so
but not only that, it's like they're using the term occult, right? So that term is being used and it's being bastardized and it's being like just dragged through the mud based on the association, right? So it is super important that we take it back and like not allow that term to be muddied like this. I really am angry about that, really, because it's like anytime people are going to hear that word, they're going to think of that stuff. And that's not okay. So we're going to do our solar invocation today. And I think it's like rather funny. I'm not sitting here and saying that we caused the Epstein files to get dropped, but we have spent the past half a year coming together as witches and wizards and magus, invoking the sun and asking it to cast light to darkness. And now we get an opportunity to deal with what happens when light is cast to darkness, right? We have exposed, we can see exactly what is happening. This is the solar light. And now let's burn it. Let's burn the necrotized flesh. This is a part of the alchemical process. This monster is in its death throes. And we need to first stabilize ourselves, heal ourselves, figure out what's important, where we stand, right? What we can do immediately. And then we need to push forward as leaders. Right. We are magicians. We practice magic. We build the world we live in. The rest of the world does not have the does not have the opportunity to do that the way that we do. No, because they're still a part of that egregore, right? They're still part of it. They don't see it.
So we, as a temple, we can come together and we can say, hey, we're building our own little part of the world in this solar light. We are building our new world, and that is not a part of it.
Nope.
Okay.
They cannot sit at our table.
Yes.
Yeah. We are not the same. So super important. But yeah, I'm sorry to see. Yeah, I see that some of you also are saying that you feel sick about it too. Yeah. So and
trigger. Sorry, cut off.
Did it? Our video cut out?
I don't know. I'm still getting it. It might be on their end.
Okay. Yeah, and just being called crazy, like, let me just say for Steve, it sucks, right? But at the end of the day, just know, some people can't handle the reality of things. And so it's easier to assume people are crazy.
So, yes. So Merlin does bring up a good point that just because something shows up in somebody's email does not mean that it is true, right?
No, that's true.
I get crazy emails all the time. However, that is a great point. However, there are certain things that are revealed now that conspiracy theorists have been talking about for decades that were in the Pizzagate documents as well, and that's horrific enough. Okay, so the stuff that is true is horrific enough, and the people that see what's going on there, what the realities of the situation is, are in a lot of pain right now, a lot of existential pain, because you realize what the true nature of the world is. But we're going to get into that. I got a perfect reading for this. So
yay. Yeah, that's awesome. Let's see.
The biggest spotlight we have, the sun. Yes. So I'm very happy that we are all working together with the sun. We continue working together with the sun. Today I have a special sigil, a special kind of it's a special sigil that we could use to kind of protect ourselves. We're going to be drawing it later. So if you want to get a grimoire and a pen in the meantime, so that we can do the sigil together, and then you're going to rip it out of your grimoire or the piece of paper, and you can put it in your purse, in your wallet, whatever it is. But it's kind of the solar protection, the solar light that's going to be emanating from you at all times. That we it's a chart that I cast. It's a sigil for a chart that I cast. That is the kind of solar protection, the light to darkness, to make you the lighthouse, make you the kind of beam, the guiding light for the people in your community and pushing forward into this new world, right? One of the things astrologers have been talking about is the Great Reset. And, what did I say last service? It's like Saturn's entering Aries. This is a reset. And so there's a positive spin to this that we could take. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And again, it gets the loudest before it collapses, right?
Yes.
Always. It's like the death throes of a thing, when it's caught and it's,
yes.
Yeah, it's about to die.
All right. So happy Sunday. I'm glad you guys are here. Let us get this solar invocation going. We are first going to start with our ritual purification.
There's lighters in there.
What's that?
Lighters in there.
There's a lighter?
Yeah.
Okay. This one?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Is it full?
Yep. You got to turn it up on the bottom.
All right.
Oh.
And then for those of you that got membership with the church, you should see on your dashboard. I don't know if your membership dashboard, I don't know if you saw it, but I did upload the solar invocation that we usually use every single week. You can download it there if you want to start reading along, especially the names of the sun, right? When we do the pronounces, when you vibrate the name of the sun, that's where a lot of the power comes from. If you were in a state of trance, you would be able to see directly how that was affecting the environment, the vibrations. All right, cool. Where's my, oh, it's right here, okay. We're gonna wash ourselves with fire. Burn off all miasma on the subtle energy centers with water. What kind of incense do you use? I have frankincense. Frankincense is great. Purification incense. So it'd be frankincense, myrrh, palo santo, or white sage. Those are popular ones. We use myrrh over here. I usually like to use frankincense specifically for Jupiter. However, frankincense is a very popular purification incense. So you can use it as your all-purpose. That one's great. That's what the Catholics use as their purification. So they fumigate their cathedrals with.
Yes.
All right. Oh. I purify, consecrate, and sublimate my mind, body, spirit, and soul under the authority of the Most On High, Creator of the universe, Master of all. Il Eshir Il Yodevauve. I purify, consecrate, and sublimate your mind, body, spirit, and soul under the highest authority, Master of the universe, Creator of all, the transcendent all-being. El Asher El Adonai. All right. And you guys can begin. Sit back, kind of relax as we're going to enter into our guided hypnosis, our guided meditation. As we begin our identification with the sun, we're going to do something. I'm going to go in using the sun, and we're going to find anything that might be attached, right? Any tendrils of egregoric influence, and we're going to use the nature of the sun to combust that attachment. We're going to free ourselves from giving our loosh to a dark world, to a dark egregore, a dark psychic creation, any kind of entity oppression we're going to be using in this guided meditation. We're going to detach ourselves from this, okay? And so, in order for hypnosis to work, you have to accept it and allow it to happen. If you do not accept it, that's totally fine, but you are totally in control of this process. Right. You just say to yourself, you're going to let it happen, and we'll go down, identify with the sun, and get rid of this influence, okay? So you're going to sit back, you're going to relax, you're going to slowly start breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth. Relaxing deeply. And as you begin to slow your breathing, you may find a point on the wall in front of you where the wall meets the ceiling, slightly above your eye level. And you may feel a little bit of pressure as your eyes are raised slightly upwards around your brow or in your forehead, and this is totally fine. You don't want to be too uncomfortable, but just notice that there might be a slight pressure there. And keep breathing in and out slowly through your nose. And you can relax your eyes on that spot on the wall where you find that fixation, that fascination. Maybe let your vision blur a little bit, space out, dissociate. As your breathing slows in and out. And at the top of your head, you might start feeling a sensation. It might be warm. It might be buzzing. It might feel relaxed. Maybe a tingling. But whatever it is, you definitely notice it. And what starts as a mild sensation on the top of your head, it begins to spread. Spread from your scalp downwards and downwards towards your ears, enveloping the top of your head. It may feel like you are wearing a hat. And as this sensation, it spreads and spreads down to your ears and it reaches your eyes. You might notice that your eyelids are starting to get incredibly heavy as you breathe in and out. Your eyelids are getting heavier and heavier. As that relaxed sensation spreads down to your jaw. And as it spreads down to your jaw, you might notice any tension release. You may find it curious how we carry stress and tension in our jaw. And you can just let that go as your jaw relaxes. Your eyelids are getting heavier and heavier. You may notice the need to swallow. This is totally normal. This is a part of the process as your eyes get heavier and heavier. Your eyes, they may start fluttering. As they begin fluttering, part of the process. As they're fluttering, you may decide that it's time to close your eyes. That's totally fine. That's up to you. You can let your eyes close. Let your eyes close. It's that relaxation. It goes down into your shoulders and your chest. And that sensation, as it moves through your body, all stress, all tension, any pains, they begin to release as your breathing gets deeper and deeper and deeper. And you may feel the need to open your eyes, but you find that no matter how hard you try, you just cannot open them. You just cannot open those eyes, but that's okay. It's that sensation of relaxation. It moves down from your chest, down into your waist, through your hips as your body relaxes, your muscles feel warm. From your hips down to your thighs, to your knees, that sensation is spreading, relaxed and descending. And now I'm going to count from 5 to 1. And when I reach 1, you will hear me snap. When you hear me snap and say deep sleep, you will quickly, easily, and effectively slip into a deep state of hypnosis. As that sensation spreads past your knees, 5, down your calves, 4, relaxed as your breathing gets slower, 3. That sensation, it reaches your feet, 2, and you're on the threshold, and 1, deep sleep. Deep sleep. And for the purposes of hypnosis and with your permission, when you hear me say deep sleep and snap my fingers, you will quickly, safely, and effectively enter into a deep state of hypnosis. And you may notice in this state an intense feeling of relaxation. You see the hypnotic state, it is a natural state. And it is a state that you are in control. You are in control of your mind, body, spirit, communicating effortlessly with your subconscious. You may notice your visions are easier. Images dance in front of your mind's eye. Thoughts may begin to slow as you relax, and you find it easier to concentrate, easier to focus. The noise and the clutter melts away into the background. You find it easier to be present here in this moment as you breathe deeply in and out. And you can take a moment to focus on sensations you might be feeling in your body, maybe thoughts effortlessly floating through your head with no attachment to them, just observing them. And notice how present you are in this state, how relaxed you are as you are deep within yourself. Any emotional struggles or turmoil seems to melt away. Notice how present you are. The problems of the world, they melt away. And you start to feel a warmth above your head. And you can visualize yourself outside of your body looking at yourself. And you notice where that warmth is coming from as the sigil of the sun descends over your head, right above your head. And your body can feel its radiant warmth. And the sigil of the sun, that circle with a dot in it, it radiates a glowing golden ray. Now you have the option to allow the sun to come into your body through the top of your head. You're going to allow that radiance, that sun, that gold, your spiritual self, your true identity, descend through the top of your head and into that cavity. As it descends into your head, it illuminates all darkness, all shadow. Your thoughts are clearer. It is easier to identify where thoughts, emotions, behaviors come from, as light is cast to every corner, every aspect of your mind. Subconscious is no longer a mystery, as your solar conscious mind communicates effectively and easily with the subconscious. These two minds are not in conflict, but friends, copacetic and working together. You allow that golden radiation to descend through the rest of your body. That golden light, that hot liquid gold. You can visualize or imagine it moving through your prana channels, through your veins, through your muscles, into the capillaries of your bloodstream as your body turns to gold. And I want you to notice, from a third-person perspective, I want you to notice where on your body it's not quite golden. As the light of the sun, it radiates, you might notice that there is a spot on your body that is dim, that is not golden, or is darker. Maybe a faded gold, maybe a rust, maybe a gray. But there's something, a spot, maybe multiple spots. I want you to notice this spot where it is. And we're going to look for a feeling attached to that spot. Maybe if it's on the back of your neck, there's a neck ache. Maybe if it's in your stomach, you might feel nausea. Wherever that spot is, I want you to notice the feeling associated with it. And now you are in the hypnotic state. And you know here in this state, you are in complete control of your mind, your body, and your spirit. And so while you may notice this spot unconsciously in your subtle light body, in your golden light body, you are in complete control and you have the ability to detach that solar light. It combusts things that come too close to it. And so we're going to send that solar light to that spot that you have found. I want you to burn it with the sun inside yourself. Set it on fire. Feel the burn. It hurts. It might be painful, but it burns so good. And notice how that spot, that darkness, as it burns, notice how much lighter you feel, how much cleaner, how much easier presence feels. And that pain, it burns away, it dissipates. And that spot that may have been dim, it may have been gray, it may have been rusted, is now replaced with a brilliant gold. Examine yourself. Feel the gold. Feel the sun. You have the power to detach. You have the power to kick out these influences. Everything we have done here together, you have done yourself. With your mind, with your consciousness, with your perception. You always have this power to detach yourself from these things that seek to infest us. Use the sun. The sun is you. You are the sun. And we're going to start coming back up to the surface, knowing full well how in control we are of the things that we feed, knowing how to detach ourselves from any influences, any darkness. 1, approaching the surface. 2, feeling relaxed, refreshed, rejuvenated. 3, body made of gold, fully identified with the sun. 4, approaching the threshold. And 5, eyes open, wide awake. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Eyes open, wide awake. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Eyes open, wide awake. Now, while you guys are coming back up, relaxing, processing, I'm going to do our solar invocation. You can sit there in the radiance of the sun, feel the invocation. You guys are familiar with this by now. I offer this to thee, O soul, for you and your spirits, you and your sphere. Amen. O soul, you who are the source of riches, the increase of strength, the honor of life, the source of splendor, and the beginning of all goodness, we entrust our entire will upon you, and with it place ourselves wholly in your hands. We entreat you on account of any depression, loss, lessening of power, or the diminishing of status. We conjure you by the most on high, creator of the cosmos, the ground of being, that monad, Toen, who is the mover of your motions and the giver of your power, through whom you accomplish your actions, by the obedience with which you obey that master of the universe, by the reason you have for helping and saving those who throw themselves at you in your will, that is, those who pray to you and supplicate you with a clear and pure intent, and by the dominion and capability that God has granted you over the planets, turn yourself unto me and liberate our will. Carry it away from worry and sad contemplations. Lead us into power station and fortifications. Grant that those who seek to cast darkness at us come to our obedience and dominion. May you deign to grant the power and strength of your splendor and excellence, by which we may find fortune and influence in working upon this material earth. I conjure you by your hidden and concealed noble qualities, by the influence you have in the order of motions, but the influence, power, strength in the works you govern upon the generation of things in this world, by your piety, which reaches the meek, by your fortune, which reaches the great, by your fidelity and legality, which you have towards Master of all, Creator of the universe, who has granted competence to you and beseeching to you, by the ways and the paths of the heavens, which have no parallel upon the earth. I conjure you by all your names, Yazemis, Sol, Mother, Leos, You who are the light of the world, I conjure thee, heed our prayers, understand our requests, those in our hearts and those in our minds, pay attention to our words, and descend into us with great effect. All those with a pure and untarnished will towards you shall have complete identification. O great luminary, O soul, great luminary, you who are the source of splendor, of strength, of riches, you identified with the self. Soul, we ask that you guide us through these dark times, that you continue to cast light to shadow, that you help the people here with us today under Temple Kht be leaders for our communities, for our families. Help us through these dark times. Combust every tendril of darkness that seeks to infect us. We are fully identified with you, O soul. You who are the light of the world, please continue to walk with us, guide us, and burn everything that seeks to harm us. Mm-hmm. Mote it be.
So it is. I got like a serious whiff of something.
Yeah. Okay.
Whew. Yep, I did.
All right, do you want to do yours?
Okay. All right. Sure. All right. So, again, wrote this not this week. Actually wrote this, I don't know, 2 weeks ago now? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, it was at work on my break. And I shortened it a bit because it was really long. I was raging. But I got a little... a more condensed, truncated version of it because it's not necessary to go that hardcore about it. Okay, so in the ancient wisdom of Kemet, Kht was not merely a goddess. She was the very fabric of existence, truth, balance, justice, harmony, and reciprocity. She was the standard, by which every soul was measured, represented by a single feather. When you stood before Anubis at the weighing of the heart, your heart was placed on one side of the scale and Kht's feather on the other. The feather did not care who hurt you. The feather did not care who wronged you. The feather only asked, how did you choose to live? There is a particular kind of person who, when they find themselves drowning in the consequences of their own actions, their own choices, does not stop and reflect. They do not sit in stillness and ask, what have I done? What must I correct? No. Instead, they look around for someone else to pull underwater with them. They attack those nearest to you. They spread confusion. They manufacture chaos. They point fingers in every direction except inward, because inward is the one place they cannot face. To look inward would require honesty, and honesty requires courage. And courage is exactly what a person walking against Kht does not possess. Understand this clearly. Their attack on those around you is a confession. It is an admission that they have already lost the argument within themselves. A person at peace with their own truth does not need to destroy yours. When adversaries arise, and they will, Kht does not ask you to collapse. She does not ask you to shrink or retaliate with the same chaos, or to abandon your character in the heat of the moment. Kht asks you something far harder. She asks you to simply remain. Remain truthful when others become deceptive. Remain grounded in the wake of their manufactured storm. And remain focused when they try to redirect your eyes. It is more important now than ever to remember that chaos cannot sustain itself in the presence of order. Isfet, the force of disorder, lies, and destruction, always collapses under its own weight. It was true in ancient Kemet, and it is still true today. You do not have to defeat them. You only have to outlast them by remaining yourself. When they attack the people near you, your loved ones, your community, those you are responsible for, it is natural to feel rage. We are humans, after all. That fire within you, born of injustice, is not wrong. Even Kht has her lioness aspects. Even the righteous warrior picks up the shield from time to time. The key is to know the difference between protection and retaliation. Protection is an action that is rooted in love and truth. It stands firm, it speaks clearly, it does not waver or capitulate under pressure. Retaliation, however, is rooted in ego. and ego unchecked can pull you off your path and into their chaos, which is exactly where they want you to be. It is precisely where they benefit from your energy. It is acceptable to defend those you love with the full force of your truth. When doing so, you must be able to speak clearly and stand visibly, because your presence alone can be enough to provide the relief. But do not follow your adversary into the mud that they have made for themselves, because once you're in the mud, you begin to look just like them. Across thousands of years of human experience, there is one premise, one cosmic truth that has been documented throughout recorded history time and time again. That is, every terrible person, government, or institution, regardless of status, title, or lineage, is eventually held accountable for their actions, be them good or bad. Every person, and in the end, is measured not by their words or their accusations, or not by how badly or loudly they pointed at others, but by the weight of what they actually carried in their hearts. By how they treated people when no one important was looking. By whether they built or destroyed. By whether they lived in truth or constructed a life from convenient lies. You cannot escape this reckoning, neither can they. So while they are busy crafting narratives and attacking your circle, you keep building. You keep showing up in truth. While they are busy sowing dissent and hate, you keep protecting what matters. You keep your heart light. Because on the day of the weighing, their chaos will have nothing to say for itself. Noise cannot argue with the scale. Confusion cannot bargain with truth. And Isfet, no matter how loudly it rages in the moment, always collapses beneath the quiet mathematics of Mat. But your heart is still being written. Every choice you make, every moment you refuse to abandon your integrity, every time you choose clarity over confusion, steadiness over spectacle, truth over convenience, you are lightening the weight of your own heart. Do not be distracted by the volume of those who have already begun to sink beneath their own contradictions. Stand in your truth, in your balance, and in the quiet, unshakable order of Mat, because the feather does not forget, nor do the scales lie. And in the end, as it has been since the first sunrise over Kemet, it is not the loudest voice that endures, it is the lightest heart. So it is.
Would it be? So our reading today is from a 19th century book. I think it was done by the Brotherhood of Luxor, which is one of the... I'm pretty sure it was. Might not be. But it comes from a Rosicrucian adjacent current from the 19th century. 1881. So the laws of death, Dark Satellite, we're going to be talking about immortality and what that means. And it's, I hope it's relevant. As it is below, so it is above, as on earth, so in the sky. There are two states of being. One is mortal, the other is immortal. That which is mortal is dissolvable, and dissolvable bodies pass away like a mist in the morning. An immortal body is an essence which is eternal and incorruptible. But the twain, the mortal and the immortal, cannot exist together forever. Each returneth to the place from whence it came. The mortal body is sensible, of the senses. And the immortal body is reasonable, of reason. The former contains nothing that is perfect, the latter nothing that is imperfect. For the one is the essence of the matter, and the other essence of spirit, and man, the microcosm, holds the balance of the twain. And there is a fierce warfare for the victory between the lower and the upper, as they both desire to obtain the body as their prize. For the state of man is envied by the lower, and glorified as a noble state by the higher. Now if the man inclines towards the lower nature, which is mortal, he thereby aids the lower imperfect powers to oppose the higher, which is immortal, and must suffer the pains of slavery for his disobedience to the workman, his maker. But if he inclines to the higher, then he is truly wise, and blessed. Should man, after being attracted by the vanities of the world, and then, after obtaining a knowledge of the things that are, return to the vanities of the world, he shall be tormented in the darkest states of disembodied souls. Should a man, after knowing the things that are become rebellious of restraint to that part which is immortal, and return to the vanities of the world, the higher essence will straightway depart from him, and he will become the slave of the lower essence, which will seize upon him and drive him towards all sorts of wicked arts and evil ways. When man has thus impiously disobeyed his Creator and turned his face away from that which is immortal, behold, he is then disinherited from his birthright as an immortal, because he has become evil, perverse thing, possessing only those things which are mortal, and he is punished by true death. And so death is meted out to all those who rebel against their God impiously, because they know the things that are, but to those foolish souls who are ignorant and who have not knowingly rejected their Creator, behold, they are purified after much suffering and are sent to this world again. Pretty relevant stuff, I think. And we are really... This is the idea of immortality that is all over the esoteric, the mystery religions, the Freemasons, the Rosicrucians, all that kind of stuff. It is talking about finding your immortality. And so there is an aspect of you that is immortal, that is your soul, and there is an aspect of you that will die and decay. And it is your body. Your body is going to rot, right? That is going to happen. So while you are incarnated in this life, what are you aligning your identity with? Right. If my identity is doing cocaine on an island with powerful people, that is going to die. That is decay, right? If my identity, if myself is aligned with eternal virtues, philosophical virtues, right? I have aligned myself with self-control, with continence. I've aligned myself with truth, with wisdom, eternal things. I identify myself with light. Light is and always is, right? I identify myself with that. Then I cannot truly die. Right. I am truly immortal. And this is what this is talking about. So it uses this language that sounds a little bit Christian, that like maybe you're going to get punished. It is not saying that. It's like there is not a conscious God that is going to look you in the face and say, well, you had your chance and you blew it, kid, so now you're going to hell. That is not what it is saying. It is saying, as a mystic, as somebody who approaches the higher mysteries, as an esotericist, you see the true nature of things. And so now you know what is going to happen. And if you know, and you still turn around and you say, well, I've only got a few decades in this body, I'm going to spend those decades abusing people, manipulating people, and enslaving people, you know that you are headed towards actual true death. Because you do not have your immortal nature. You are not aligned with your immortality. Those of us who witness these things and know them and take it as a way to align ourselves with our immortality, right? What is waiting for us is eternity, right? This is the eternal person. This is the nirvana. This is the heaven of the Christians, right? This is the deification of the Egyptians, the self-deification. So what the pharaohs go through is recognizing these virtuous states, how to align ourselves with eternal principles and become those eternal principles. That is the goal of the mystic, of what we do on this path, of the occultist, right? Or we can turn around and we can identify ourselves with decay and death, right? And so we want to talk about these people in power that are occultists, right? They're doing black magic rituals for more power, for more money, for genocide, for whatever it is, right? We want to talk about these people. What are they aligning themselves with? They are aligning themselves with death, and they will die. We know this. They are headed for true death. And they know this because they have seen. If they believe in the power of these occult rituals that they do, this abuse that they subject people to, the enslavement of humanity, if they know the reality of this situation, and that's why they do these rituals, they are still choosing to align themselves with principles that decay and die, that are not eternal. And they know they are headed there. And that is why they are lashing out. That is why they are in their death throes. They have sold themselves out on a cosmic scale. And so you have a choice right now as a mystic, as an occultist, as an esotericist, as a magician. You have a choice because you can see now. You are awake now. You have the eyes to see. And what are you going to align yourself with? Are you aligning yourself with eternity, with your own godhood, with your self-deification, or are you going to reject it and keep dancing in something debased, something that will die? You want to think about it this way, right? The body will die. When you align yourself with matter in the material, it decays. Do not invest your soul into something that decays. Invest your soul into something that is eternal. What is eternal? We know harmony is eternal. Humans do not need to exist for harmony to exist. We know order is eternal. Humans do not need to exist for order to exist. We know beauty is eternal. Humans do not need to exist for beauty to exist. Beauty will exist, truth will exist, harmony and order will exist long after the human species is gone. And so are you aligned to those things? That is where your eternity is. Become those things. That's what this passage we were reading is about. And I think this is incredibly relevant to explain what exactly is happening in the world now that the world is waking up to this, and how you are supposed to push on through this, what you are supposed to do with this information. This is a global awakening, a global initiation, right? And you guys are magicians, you're occultists, you're mystics, you're esotericists, right? And so you know what to do now. Mm-hmm. Push forward, build your new world, align yourself with eternal principles, with immortality.
Well, yes. So it is. Merlin, I can say I did die in 2016, right? I'm sure a lot of you have already heard this. And I didn't believe in it. I didn't believe there was anything after this until I died. I was in the hospital. And yeah, and I also was a neuroscientist for about 20 years and very familiar with the mechanisms of the brain and the neural pathways and the different neurotransmitters that are produced during the process of death and what those may possibly be able to do to a person. That being said, my experience defied all of that. And it made me have to realize, like, oh my God, there's, holy shit. The minute I was out of my body and I was watching everything happen and watching them crash cart me and all that, that's when it was very clear to me that I didn't give a shit about this body at all. I looked at myself in that bed and was like, that sucks. Shit, that sucks. No big deal. It was like, I probably could have got a few more years out of that. That was the vibe. But what happened is I became very clear. It became very clear to me that like everything I was supposed to do was known. Like I was known in where I failed, where I was failing. I was judging myself based on something that had been put in place far before my understanding of it. And that's why when I came back, I completely changed my life, like 100%. I changed everything about it because that experience was so life altering for me, that like there's no science that can explain it. And it's just, I can't make you understand it and I can't make you believe it. And I would never try to, but I'm just telling you like that for me, as somebody that didn't believe in it and had to deal with the fallout of that and still do, you know, even though it's like, what, 9 years later? Oh, it's 10 years now. Yeah, no, yeah. Yeah, it's 10 years. Yeah, it's still 10 years later. I'm still having struggles with it. So, but yeah, there is a soul and it is real. Much to my dismay at the time. So, you know, God, not what most people think, in my opinion, what I experienced, but you know, definitely we know what's right and wrong and you can't lie on that side. There's no lying. There's no dishonesty. It's not possible. So you're only faced with the consequence of your own actions at that point. That's it. And the truth of it. And there's no obscuring it. There's no mental gymnastics allowed. It's just, it is what it is. And here's what it is. And here's what you're supposed to do. Here's what you did. You know, it's like that. So it prompted me to change everything about myself.
I can't say I've had anything convincing happen to me.
You don't want to. You don't want to. I wish I had just could go off like faith, you know, or something, because it's a lot. It's a huge burden. And if you look at anybody that has had a near-death experience, well, I think the legit ones, they come back and they always have the same. It's the same. It's like their experience might be different, but when they come back, their life changes. Mm-hmm. And they start to detach from people that are negative, and they start living a whole different life because they've seen that other side. And it's a lot because no one believes you. B, you don't believe yourself. It's, you know, and if I didn't have medical records, I would have long ago gaslit myself into saying it was just my imagination, you know, much easier.
So, yeah, if you say, I don't understand what people mean when they say soul, I can't see.
Oh.
So soul is the old Greek word for it is psyche.
Yeah, it's
the psyche in psychology.
Mm-hmm.
If you're looking at it in metaphysics, like the like not New Age metaphysics, but like metaphysics, like, you know, the branch of philosophy, it's what they believe the mind is, right? And so a good working definition I like to use for the soul is hierarchical ordering consciousness. So it's the part of you that is witness, right? And so the thing is, the word psyche, and because it's with psychology in modernity, people associate it with this theory that the mind is a product of neural synapses that happen in the brain. However, there's a lot of experiences and philosophy that goes into why, you know, that can't really be a thing, right? So the reason people get confused with soul, psyche, and mind is because we are taught in our secular society that the mind is a product of it arises from the material, from materialism. Mm-hmm. However, we don't know that for sure. That's just what materialists say because they don't have a better explanation for it. So mm-hmm. There's not like science backing that or anything.
No,
yeah.
They're never.
It's
they're
like
never
science. Yeah, so it's like you're dealing with consciousness, and consciousness cannot be measured scientifically.
Yeah, no one. We can't even agree on a definition of it.
Yes, exactly. Okay, so with that being said, we are going to go into the astrological forecast.
Oh yeah.
So this week, there's some pretty good elections this week. Pretty good nights today. Today's a pretty good day, at least speaking planetarily. We have, let me get this out. So the moon is in a good aspect right now with Venus and Jupiter, and we're going to see Venus and Jupiter are working together a lot this week. So Venus and Jupiter, when they work together, that they are the greater and lesser benefic. So when you're trying to do like positive stuff, I mean, when you're talking about like material gain, that kind of thing, if you're doing love spells, money spells, having Venus and Jupiter and the moon all working together, that is optimal time to be doing those kind of spells. That is happening today. Jupiter is also in a trine, which is probably the most harmonious aspect, is in a trine with Mercury and Venus. Now, Mercury is the magician. He can make things happen, that kind of stuff. Obviously, the Jupiter, Venus, they work together really well. They love each other. And then Mercury is conjunct with Venus as well. So we see, because Mercury is a part of this situation, Mercury is turning into a benefic planet because he's aspecting the greater and lesser benefic. So you've got 3 planets working together, and they are aspecting the moon in a positive way. So if you're going to do any magic to gain something in your life, now would be a really, really good time, whether it's a job, career. Today, this is where all these aspects are. So you might want to wait till tonight. If I was going to do that tonight, I would wait until an hour of Jupiter, right? An hour of Jupiter to do my spell. I would try to go through Jupiter to access this. Or you could just go straight to the moon. That works too. You can access the moon at any time. You don't need to wait for the moon's hour. After that, I think moving forward, tomorrow night we're going to see the moon is going to enter a bad aspect with Mars. On Monday, it's going to enter a square. I would avoid any magic that night. The tension there when the moon is square with Mars is going to be irritable, angry, that kind of energy when the moon and Mars are not copacetic with each other. Then on Tuesday, which is Mars Day, the moon is going to be bad aspect with the sun. We're going to talk about inner turmoil, right? Inner conflict. That's what we're headed towards with Tuesday, especially since the sun has entered Pisces. It is officially Pisces season, and Pisces are known for being moody fucks.
Hey, wait.
Yeah. So.
Oh yeah. No, yeah. But my best friend is Pisces.
Exactly. So.
Love you.
So, if you like this conflict between the moon and the sun on Tuesday night, also in Pisces season, Tuesday, a lot of inner conflict. I would kind of avoid any practical magic on that night. When we're going into Wednesday, the moon is going to then be in conflict with our Venus-Mercury conjunction. And so I would not do anything with Mercury on Wednesday because the moon's going to mess that up. The moon and Mercury have to be working together. They are basically, they govern a lot of the same things, and they're very closely related with each other. So when they're in conflict with each other, I do not like to do any practical magic workings. When we move into Thursday, Thursday is going to be awesome. I'm super excited for Thursday. Everything clears up on Thursday night. And Thursday night is Jupiter, and Jupiter is great for money, career, justice, that kind of stuff. He is like your rich grandpa that's like just the coolest guy ever, He's got like all the sickest toys in the pool in his backyard and that kind of thing. So Thursday night, we have Sun is going to be trine with the moon and Jupiter. So the Sun, the moon, and Jupiter are going to be working together on Thursday night. That's the self, the inner world, and Jupiter, your rich grandpa. Then we also have that night, Jupiter is going to be trine with Mercury and Venus. So because Mercury is conjoined with Venus and trine Jupiter, Mercury turns into a benefic planet. That is his positive kind of artisan and magician, like master wizard kind of vibes. That's what's going on in that trine on Thursday night. The moon is also going to be conjunct with Jupiter, which is great, okay? Moon conjunct with Jupiter. That means the Jupiter energy is going to get zapped straight through, right down into the material world, along with that Mercury-Venus conjunct. So Thursday night, awesome night to work with Jupiter. One of the best nights. If you're going to be doing practical magic for like money, justice, or any kind of the good fortune. Let's do that on Thursday night. Then we're going to move into Friday night. Friday night is another great night. The moon is going to be trine with Mercury and Venus. It's going to be conjunct with Jupiter, and Jupiter is going to be trine with Sun, Mercury, and Venus. So if you're going to be doing love spells this week, romance, that kind of stuff, it's going to be a really good night on Friday night to be doing that as well. When we move into Saturday, the only really positive thing that's going on Saturday is that the moon is going to be in harmony with Jupiter. So maybe you want to do some inner work on that, some meditation, some deep contemplation on Saturday with the moon and Jupiter during Saturn's day. So that is the astrological forecast. Thursday, Friday night, great nights for practical magic. Beginning of the week is a little messy. Tonight, Sunday night, it's also a good night for practical magic. We are in Pisces season. All of these planets have moved into Pisces, right? And so Pisces is Saturn and is very, very introspective. So when the planets, they enter into Pisces, they start to take an interior turn, right? Venus becomes more contemplative. Venus is more interested in long-term relationships when she's in Pisces, right? Mercury, he becomes more legalistic. He turns a little bit into like kind of a lawyer that's really by the codes, by the books, right? This is the kind of energy that is happening when planets are in Pisces. So when you're working with these planets, be aware of their placement in Pisces and how that's going to kind of change their personalities a little bit, right? Pisces is very introspective, very thoughtful, very deep thinker, right? Can also be a little bit of a tortured artist, can be moody, okay? So just be aware of that if you are working with these planets during Pisces season. So
nice. It's such a good, it's like weather forecaster. It's like, I love it. It's always so helpful to know what days to avoid doing stuff, what to avoid doing or what to do. Yeah. So, yeah, no, I'm a Leo, but the Virgo cancels that out. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
I think with that being said, I'm leaving you guys with a little bit of a sigil right here. Cool. I don't know if you can see it. But we have this circle up here. For members of the church, it will get pushed to your documents. Now, this sigil right here, you're going to take out your grimoire. You're going to draw a circle, right? It looks kind of like a pentacle, but you're going to start here with your line, and you're going to move. There's a little bit of a diagonal over here. Draw the circle at the end of it, and then these are the symbols. You can put them anywhere inside of the sigil, right? And so this sigil is a solar sigil, okay? This sigil is specifically for us as magicians, as leaders, dealing with what we are dealing with right now. This, you could think of it as your light, right? This is the light that you're going to put in your purse, in your wallet, that kind of stuff. It's going to be like your little reflective light. And this is your little sun ray that you can carry around with you. It's going to show you in the astral realm, in any kind of realm. It's going to make you radiate with the sunlight that we have come together and we have been invoking for the past 6 months. It's also going to help you to burn anything that's coming at you. So this tendril, this work that we have done in disconnecting ourselves from this nasty egregore, we doing that today. This sigil right here, carrying it around with you, is going to make sure that those tentacles do not come back and it's going to burn them every time they come towards it. So that sigil is for you guys to use. And if you don't get it immediately right now, remember that you want to write it this way. If you don't get it immediately right now, you can go onto collegeofmagicians.org/services. And if you don't have a membership with Temple Kht, apply for one right there, and it will get pushed to your dashboard later this afternoon.
It doesn't cost anything.
It's free, absolutely free, right? Yeah. So, and you'll get that sigil there, and then just make sure that you suffumigate it in the. Hold on, I've got mine, right?
Yeah, you can.
So here I've got mine right here that I'm using for my protection, right? Go. And you're going to suffumigate it, and then you can fold it up. You could put it in your wallet. You could seal it with wax, that kind of stuff. I'll flash it in front of the camera. I don't know if it's too blurry because of the focus, but I will upload this seal, this sigil for you guys. It is a solar one, and it is specifically for us, people here in the occult service.
Yes.
And so with that,
from right to left.
yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So you
right
you want to do it like Japanese or Hebrew or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah. So with that being said, we're open for questions. Psychic hour, answering your questions, guys.
Yep.
I know that was a lot. We're already an hour and a half in.
All right.
Yes.
Damn.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes. A lot of comments in here saying, someone said, I think Steve says he's a Taurus, and I said, oh, stubborn. And I was like, yeah, I know.
Oh,
I know.
Steve's a Taurus?
Yeah, I think so. I think that's who said it. Wait, let's see. No, actually, wait.
Agreed. I'm moody as fuck.
Yeah.
I'm a Taurus.
Oh,
Earth
Taurus.
sign,
No,
bullheaded
Taurus. Yeah.
I'm a Taurus too. I got Sun, Moon, and Venus in Taurus. What just happened?
Oh, weird. Are we still on here?
We should be.
I don't know.
Claude just opened up.
That's weird.
Thanks, Claude.
Oh, weird. Our screen just shifted.
Yeah, I think Taurus men are the best men, though. That's what I was
I gotta agree on this one. Yeah, definitely.
So any woman would be lucky to have a Taurus man. I might be a little biased, though.
Okay, Waking Spirit, in regards to what you focus about, is there a specific thing you're talking about? Is it about your practice? What?
Sarah says,
okay, thank you.
I went to Roman Catholic confession yesterday. I find that sacrament extremely helpful.
Yeah.
It is an extremely powerful sacrament. I love it. There is, I know in 12-step programs, they have one of their steps is like a confession. And that is probably the most powerful step in that program. I think that all spiritual movements should have something like that, because you definitely do feel it. It's a very powerful feeling when you get that stuff out,
Yeah, so if humans retain agency, can you explain global initiation? Yeah.
You can fail initiations 100%.
Yeah, an agency, I don't know anymore if agency is actually something that, I think it's something you have to claim at this point, right?
Yeah.
It's because maybe we had it initially, but the way things are structured purposefully is to strip us from that, right? Strip that from us. Mm. So agency has to be reclaimed at this point. Because everybody's been indoctrinated, right? And it's, I mean, that's a good question. This is Deb Dew.
Let's Waking Spirit's got a question.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm waiting to hear back to see. I asked Waking Spirit if they could let me know what they meant. What with regards to what I'm shuffling for. I'm
going to blindfold you.
What?
And put you in hypnagogia.
Oh, okay.
Get something for him.
Okay.
Are you okay with that?
Sure.
Okay.
Why not?
Are you okay?
Yes.
Okay.
Get him down. Down.
Okay, I'm right behind you, all right?
Okay.
All right. Let's start breathing in deeply. Right. Breathe in deeply. Deep sleep, deep sleep. And just start descending to that familiar place. Relaxed, in control, focused.
I got it.
I'm going to start coming back up.
Thank you.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Eyes open wide awake.
Can I take this off? Okay.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah. No.
Sorry, my bad.
Yeah, untie it. My makeup. Okay, so that was fast. So you know that message that we got during our ritual the other night?
Yes.
It's the same message.
Yeah, I knew it was the same message.
Yeah.
I knew it was.
Okay, so
What is going on? Why does he keep doing that?
I don't know why Claude is trying to take. It's the rise of AI. It's taking over our computer. What the hell? Okay. Okay, Sarah. Wait. Yeah, definitely.
For a waking spirit, right?
Okay. So, let's see. So wicked. Yes, for wicked spirit. Okay. So. You've been kind of lost and not sure if you trust yourself, and you're wondering if you can ask what you should be focusing on right now. So what I just got was the same message we got the other night. It was just a repeat of that, which is interesting. That happens sometimes, which is you need to because it's obscured. It's obscured from you right now because you don't have a clear picture of where you want to be, right? So you need to be focusing on where you want to be going forward. Like, what's your purpose? Like, this is not the right way to say it. What are the things that you hope to accomplish for yourself? Like, is it that you want to be more, comfortable? Is it that you want to have more success? Like those kinds of things, right? Like you need to identify some points that you can aspire to. Once you can identify where you want to be down the road, then that path will unfold for you, right? But when we're not clear on where we're going, like it's not about like what you should be doing, right? We got to forget that. We got to go to where do I want to be? Where do I want to end up? And then the pathway there will reveal itself to you, right? A lot of times we get too stuck on how we're going to do things, like to get to a certain goal, but the goal's not clearly defined. You need to clearly define the outcomes that you're hoping for, and then things will start to become clear for you. It's the intention that matters. Once you set the intention of what you want, the way there, the path forward will reveal itself to you.
Yeah, so I mean, this kind of goes into how people do, like New Agers use manifestation. Oh, they have very clear outcome, and they don't really think about the steps that are to that outcome. They have the outcome, they visualize the outcome, and then they let the in between kind of
fill itself in
or whatever, so you start with the outcome and you've got where you're at, and then you've got the outcome, and then you just start kind of like narrowing down. It's like, okay, what do I have to do? Like what's the next indicated step, like that kind of stuff.
Right. But feelings, I think the way to do this most effectively is to identify the feelings associated with the outcome rather than the naming of the outcome, right? Like, so for instance, if say it's about a job, you want a better job or something. I'm just using this as an example. Instead of focusing on like, I want this specific job, right? You would look at what feelings would I have in the event that I had that job that I think I want, right? Is it, peace, clarity, contentment, like those kinds of things? The feelings are much more identifiable than the actual, like it's better to identify what you feel as a result of the goal that you hope to achieve. And then because it's something that can anchor you to it a lot stronger than it is to say the title of a job or, a person that you want to be in a relationship with. It's like more like the feeling that those things would provide you. That's I think the most important and most effective way to do it personally. Yeah.
Let's see. So Sarah, have I experienced spirit or deity-led initiation? I've had some intense and confusing experiences.
Okay.
So, hold on. I'm gonna ask for you, but I'm gonna say don't doubt yourself or question yourself when it comes to these kind of matters. So yeah, you have Sarah, really don't doubt these kind of experiences. The quality of the experience is completely on your ability to accept it for what it is, right? So it's not necessarily about, these experiences aren't about what like the material reality of the situation is. They're more about how you're interpreting it and how you're accepting it. And this is, it's basic. It's like a chicken or egg situation, you know, like what, you know, what happened to me, you know, why did that synchronicity happen? So for example, let's say I do a spell for a rock, right? And I do a spell for a rock to show up, and then somebody is riding a bike and they've by my house and they fall off, and when they fall off, like a rock comes off their bike and lands in front of me or whatever. I can either accept that as like, oh, you know, somebody fell off their bike, or I can accept it as I conjured a rock, right? So just if you experienced this kind of initiation or whatever, especially if it's independent or deity led, you know, don't really question the experience and accept it for what you got out of it, right? If you got that kind of integration, that freedom, that liberation from it, then accept it as an initiation, no matter what happened, right? You don't have to question it. Oh, waking spirit, my guy. Okay, yes, you're in a Jupiter initiation right now, aren't you? Last few weeks I've been dragged along by my foot. In the process, I've forgotten my main goal, which ultimately is to become a more refined and better person. That's exactly what happened to me in my Jupiter initiation. You remember when I was like, I have no idea what I'm doing, why I'm doing this, like that kind of stuff.
And I'm like, you'll figure it out.
Keep trudging forward. Just one next indicated step, okay? Just, you know, accept things as they come. You don't have to know. You can be confused. The confusion means that it's working.
Yeah.
The confusion means it's working.
Yeah, if everything's like answered for you right away, that's probably not good.
It's a part of it. Just follow the lead. Follow the lead.
It's part of the whole thing is about being a better and like refined person, right? It's about trusting yourself.
Yes.
That you're figuring it out, right? Don't doubt it. And for Sarah, I see like this is the card I got for her situation, and that to me shows that this has been a thing going on with her since childhood. Like this is not new. This has been happening for a long time. These initiations with her. So, you know, I don't know. Maybe as you get older, you start to question it more, and you start to see it as how strange it is.
Yeah. So Steve, I'm going to give you a little advice on magic, and this is a very hard lesson for me to learn. It took me over a decade to figure this out. I manifested a job. I got a job, but it ended up being chaotic because I didn't state the specific intention. So I used to do magic for jobs all the time because in my mind, what I wanted was more freedom, more money, and you know, a happier lifestyle. And so I told myself that this job was going to get me it. So I would do magic for this job instead of doing magic for more free time, more money, and
happiness.
Working somewhere where people appreciate me, right? So I would keep doing it. And the magic would work, and I would get the job, and then I'd be in the job, and I'd be like, I hate this. This sucks. You know, I'm working 60-hour weeks. You know, I don't get to see my family. They're screwing me and not paying me enough, you know, like that kind of stuff. And it just kept happening over and over and over and over again until finally I did the magic for what I wanted, what I actually wanted, and then let the magic give me what I needed for that to happen, right? And that was kind of the turning point. So a lot of times we look at these jobs or a career or a position, and we're like, that's what's going to give me the things that I actually want. And then we find out, no, we have no idea like what's going to give us that, right? Because if we did know, then we wouldn't be needing to do magic in the first place. If we knew exactly what we needed to do in order to have more free time, more happiness, more money, like that kind of stuff, we wouldn't be stuck in this situation in the first place. So, give it up to your deity, give it up to the spirits, whatever, and let them figure that shit out for you. Tell them what you really want.
Yeah. And Sarah, yes, like, what's the point of initiations? Right?
Am I supposed to keep having these little initiations? So if you're talking about little initiations, if you mean like little chaos, sometimes that's just chaos. Sometimes that's not an initiation. An initiation should leave you feeling integrated, whole, and liberated, right? And they're usually pretty bad. They're usually a pretty big deal. Something bad does happen in them, or some kind of pain or some kind of trial that you have to go through in order for the initiation to take, right? In order for you to grow as a person, to receive the things the initiation is trying to give you, right? But just because something bad is happening does not mean it's an initiation, right? Usually, if you keep having a repeated problem, it means you're stuck. If the same thing keeps happening over, you keep going through this thing. It's like, oh man, like I just got knocked on my ass again. I just got knocked on my ass again. I just got knocked on my ass again. That means that there's something that you're not taking care of. There's something that you're not addressing, that you're blind to, and that's not an initiation. That's that kind of like therapy speak. What's the definition of insanity? There's something that you're doing that you keep doing, expecting a different result, and that's why things keep blowing up in your face, right?
Yeah.
I've had some pretty big things like that, but don't want to say them publicly on live stream.
Okay, I understand.
Yeah, no, that's totally fine. Yeah.
Your boys go to Jupiter to get more stupider. That's how it goes. Girls go to Mars to get more candy bars. Sorry, I saw someone post it. That just reminded me of second grade.
Waking spirit. This is exactly what happened in my Jupiter initiation. The beginning of I think like the first month was like it was just like, whoa, this is awesome. Like I like a newspaper did a write up on me. My business started making a bunch of money. I got honorary degree for something that I wrote from a seminary and that kind of stuff. All this like really cool stuff all happened like within like the first month. I was like, whoa, like why did it take so long for me to initiate into Jupiter? And then I spent the next 8 months just confused in and it wasn't like inner turmoil like Luna was or anything like that. It was more just like rampant confusing chaos as my life was trying to reorganize itself into my new life, It
was your death throes that you were going through of your life.
Yeah, because I was still trying to hold on to my old way. I initiated into Jupiter, and I was still holding on to like my old ways. He's like, no, you can't do that anymore, man.
Yeah,
it's like taking
so you asked for more time with your family, right? You asked to be able to do your creative stuff, right? Like those things, while holding on to your day job, right?
Yeah.
And that's not what ended up happening at all. It ended up, but now you got what you asked for.
I got what I asked for.
Yep.
100%.
In a way that's better than what you had imagined, right? Like
way better. I don't have to go like I'm good.
Yeah. I mean, good. So, and for me, same. Like I thought I wanted to be a professor, teach students at the college level because, high school kids don't care. And I wanted to teach about wanted to teach science to people that cared, biology to people that cared about science or could appreciate it. And then I get offered this job. I did a spell for that, to get full time, right? Because I was part time. I did one for full time, and I didn't put that biology in it, right? I didn't. I left that out, and then instead I get offered a job working in transportation. Okay, like I know nothing of that, and as a curriculum developer, and I almost didn't take it. Like I dismissed it right away. Thank God I didn't, because now it's provided me with all of the things that I had asked for that I was hoping professor, my being a professor would provide, but it didn't. It made me so angry because students suck. It was a lot of just time consuming stuff that was like unnecessary in my opinion. Now I don't have to deal with that. Now I have everything I wanted. But I just left off the title of what it was. Yeah. I just looked for the feelings. So do that always. It's
better, approach what you really want. What you really want, and then let magic take care of the in between steps. But waking spirit, textbook. You're spitting back to me my experience with my Jupiter initiation, which to me is a good thing because it means it's working. Hopefully, at least that's the way that I view it. I think it's working for you. It is very frustrating though. There was like 8 months I just kept turning it. I was just like, I don't know what I'm doing. Why am I doing this? I'm so confused. I don't know why. It was crazy. I was like, I'm not a teacher. I was like teaching college classes. I was like I was doing all this crazy stuff that's just like outside of my wheelhouse just because Jupiter was throwing it at me.
That's when you came to my school. Yeah.
And I'm just like, and I'm like, what is, like, I don't know what I'm doing, because I felt like I should have been focusing on my business, and I'm doing all these little side quests.
But I have him over
Jupiter's
here
throwing at me, and I'm so confused. And then he's having, like, a part of my Jupiter initiation was I was reading a lot of Christian theology and classical philosophy, and I'm just like, why am I digging around in this too? Like, this feels very different from all the Egyptian stuff I was dealing with Saturn and that kind of thing. I don't know. Very strange. But I kept having to take a step back and be like, look, I'm leaving it up to Jupiter. I'm just going to take the next indicated step,
Yeah. So I know I had him come to do a talk to my students for a career workshop that I was holding at the community college. About his career path, and like he gets up there, never been in the classroom, and as an instructor, and he just nails it like unbelievably. And I was just watching it like in awe, going, "Oh, I see, I know now." But you still couldn't see it, that what you're supposed to be doing. And
you think the material world could be a more concrete lucid dream? That's how I like to look at it. I think the Tibetan practices of sleep and dream yoga kind of exposed that to me. What's the difference between dream and sleep and the wakeful state? Like, what's the difference between the worlds? And the lines start like kind of blurring, especially as you practice the liminal skills. Yeah.
And life, and also like we say, like, not everything always is an initiation, right? Mm-hmm. Like, bad things just happen because that's just how the world works, right? That's how the universe works. It's like sometimes it does seem disproportionate that like bad people have good things happening to them more than good people have good things happening to them, but there is a balance there. It's just maybe we just don't always see it, right?
Yeah, exactly, Steve. It gave you the right outcome, but it gave you the right outcome, but it nudged you and said, I'm going to give you this instead.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah. I thought, like, you think you know what you need to do in order to get to where you want to be. And if you did know, you wouldn't be stuck in the first place, right? And that's the whole weird thing about it. It's like
it's ego.
Yeah, you say it's like, oh, I want to be here in my life. I want this. I want like happiness. I want family. Like that, like ultimate ideals. You say you want that stuff, but then you're like, but I want it on my terms. I want to work in this dead end career because it's all I know, or
cost fallacy, right?
Yeah. Some weird goofy stuff that you tell yourself, and you're like, this is the only way that's going to work for me, and it's like you don't really know, right? You don't. You have to let the universe just kind of like bring you there.
Yeah, you do, and and try new things too, because if you're asking for guidance forward in the path you're currently on, then perhaps that's just not the right path. And that's really hard sometimes because
you gotta let go of it.
For me, for 20 years of my life, I worked as a scientist. So when I went to teach, I was teaching science, right? Like that's what I'm comfortable with. That's what I know. And then I had to shift. I had to pivot. And then I went for psychology degrees, right? And then from that, I thought I knew I wanted that, right? But then that was way too much, mental tax for me. And now I'm doing something completely out of my wheelhouse, but like it's providing everything I wanted. I'm happy and it's great. And I'm learning new stuff, but ditching 20 years of something that made me feel like it was all for nothing for a while. Right. But it wasn't. It was like every experience is valuable. Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. So don't like just, having to shift or pivot at some point in life. I mean, that happened for me at 45. I was older, much older. And that, typically speaking, society tells us that's not okay at that age, right? It's like you failed somehow, but that's not true. I was failing before. I didn't see it, I didn't realize how bad that it was, that I was so unhappy and had no time and no ability. I took my first vacation ever last year, ever in my life. That's not success previously then, I can't even do a basic thing, but now I can. So, and it came from a place where I didn't even think I'd ever be, never even considered it. So you gotta trust the process and relinquish some of that control, right?
Yeah, totally. 100%. That's when the magic becomes fun, I think.
Yeah.
That's when it's kind of a ride. I've been getting a lot of guidance that I should move and I'll find love, but trying to find out about a career, I get messages back that I should just trust, and I don't know how to support myself on trust. Yes, I know. It's a very tough situation. You can't pay your bills with trust. That's cannot. For sure.
Yeah, you cannot. But in the meantime, if that is true, so that is the conundrum, right? You have to be able to support yourself. So the way that I do it is I look at it this is a temporary, and it's a lesson. I'm learning something here, wherever it is that I'm going to be temporarily. And I just keep that in my, the forefront. This is not forever.
So I think, there's the reality. I have children, and so there's childless, I can't just not do something because I have little people that depend on me, right?
Right. Little wonderful, beautiful people.
Yeah, little beautiful people. I had to grind doing something that I knew was not for me, and taking it as a kind of lesson until I got to the thing that was for me, right? So I think towards the end, it was I knew I wasn't supposed to be doing what I was doing, and I knew that it wasn't for me, and I knew it was the end of that. However, I stuck it out, and I kept grinding until I got through the finish line, and then the world opened up for me. Because I still had to keep doing what we're doing, because I have to take care of kids and that kind of stuff. So, although we're sitting here and saying, this is how magic works, you need to trust the process, you need to give it up to the universe, and you need to follow. Part of that is, I need to take care of my immediate needs today, and if that means, you have to work some shit right now while you let the magic take you somewhere else, then that's what you need to do, right?
Yeah.
You can't just not pay your bills.
Merlin, you're definitely the Seven of Wands as first card. So, and crossed by Two of Pentacles. That's funny. Seven of Wands and Two of Pentacles. So yeah, definitely you're going through it with that, and you're confused, conflicted. Do you stay with what you know, stick with the status quo, or do you move forward, right? Okay, well, then we have it looks like you're actually supposed to move forward, try something else, actually. Because
the last time he asked for a reading, it was telling him to focus on the relationships. Mm-hmm. And because the
relationships. Yeah, because this is why there's this conflict here. This conflict here is preventing all of this stuff here, right?
4.
This one.
Oh, this one up here.
That's a Two of Pentacles.
Oh.
Yep. And then the Page of Cups, Knight of Wands, Empress, Lovers, Sun, King of Cups, right? That's great, but then we get the Seven of Cups and the Nine of Swords. And it's you're the oscillation back between what could be here and then what this negative, more of a bad, I don't know, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Justice, it's a balance. It's a balance. Like, so the relationships, okay, if those are taking more out of you than they're giving back, that's a problem. It needs to be even. If it's not even, it's time to ditch it, right? Like, you can't be the only one doing it, doing work. You can't, it depends on where you are too. So like if this was my spread here and I was still back in my hometown of Fresno, I would look at this like, yeah, I'm forcing this on myself, right? You know what I mean? I'm forcing, like, there's this opportunity here, but I'm stuck in this muck. I don't know where you are living. I don't know what that situation is. If it's kind of like you've exceeded your potential there, like, or that you've outgrown it, like the place, but something needs to change. But it does look like it's more internal, actually. Like, this looks more like an internal situation. Let me get clarification on this. And also, I just heard something. Yeah, sorry. Stop asking. Like, that's what I just heard. Stop asking. I don't know what that was, where that came from. That was harsh. So like, I'm seeing like that you start to make strides, right? Like little strides towards the thing. And then you start asking the questions again. And that's just like, it just goes, it resets you back to start, right? It's like when you're playing Candyland with the game, and then you have to go all the way, you're halfway down the board and then you have to go all the way back to the start. It's like, there's something that you're doing that's like, it's the asking question. It's like because it's not just asking. It's like the way that you're asking it is making it like, you don't believe it or you don't deserve it or something. Like, it's like something that's, it's thwarting your own progress, right? So maybe it's things can't be good because they always go bad. So scared of that. I don't know what it is here. Let's see if I can find out. Let me see. I'm going to put these back. That's a lot of cards. People don't like change. It is the only constant, though. You're right. I'm very bad at this. As Abammon knows, I hate change.
Yes.
What do you get? What do you see?
Nothing.
Let's see. Thing. Yeah.
It's misguided.
Mm-hmm.
Especially, okay, so Khepri, solar disk, he needs to focus on Khepri, which is the movement of the self, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this card right here, everything around it is illusion. Khepri is what brings him to morning, right?
Mm-hmm.
He needs to watch Khepri across the sky. Mm-hmm. So Khepri is carrying the solar disk.
It needs to be an internal process then. Yeah.
Maybe he doesn't know who he is.
Yeah. Or what they want, really. Yeah.
But that's,
it's the same message again.
The same
Fuck.
Freaking message.
It's the same message.
All right.
Damn it. Okay.
Where's that thing you wrote?
Fuck. What? The message that we got?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
my.
It was like
okay, hang on.
The time is now.
Yeah, hang on. Let me get it.
This is a call to action. The time is now.
Yeah, hang on. Is it from here last night?
I don't know where you had it. You got it? Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, accept fate.
Okay. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the time is now. Like, it's now, and you've got too much noise going on. Like, there's too much noise, and you need to cut through that noise. You need to, like, identify, you really need to set the outcome. You need to identify the outcome. You need to identify the outcome so that you know what actions to take, okay? It's the same damn message, dude. Damn it. It's so weird when this happens. This usually happens with my clients. It doesn't usually happen a lifetime, But that's what it is. So go with feeling more than events or circumstance. Damn, I got a headache really bad all of a sudden. What the hell? Go with feelings. What are the feelings like? ideal situation, how do you feel at the end of the day? What do you come home to? What's the feeling at the end of the day when everything's said and done and you're laying in bed and you're, with your thoughts? What is that feeling you have? That's what you need to focus on, and then let yourself be taken to that destination, right? It sounds really easy. It's not. So.
Okay, Merlin, I'm going to have you do something. Okay, we're going to help you out. You're going to do this Sunday during the day while the sun is up. So Merlin, can you see me? Can you see the chart? So you're going to take your birth chart, right? Pretend this is your birth chart, okay? You're going to take every single degree of the zodiac. Do this on a Sunday. Every single degree, so all 360 degrees. You're going to give, starting with Aries 0, moving counterclockwise. Degree 0 is going to be A. Degree 1 is going to be B. Do this for all, right? Every single degree, you're going to get A, B, C, D, E, F, G, all the way to Z, and then repeat for every single degree. You're going to take your birth chart. You are going to find the letter that your sun falls on. You are going to find the letter that your moon falls on. You are going to find the letter that your Mercury falls on. You are going to find the letter that your Jupiter falls on. And you're going to put those letters together. So like, let's say the sun right here is going to be C. The moon fell on a G. The Jupiter fell on an H. And the Mercury fell on a, where is it right here? A Z, right? So now I'm going to put these together. I've got C. I've got, where's the moon? G. I've got Z. I've got H. And now what you're going to do is you're going to draw a line in the circle. I got my sun going to my moon, going to Mercury, going to Jupiter, right? I'm going to put a line where I started, going to put a circle where I started. That's your sigil, right? And that sigil is associated with the mantra of C, G, Z, H. That is your sigil for finding out what you're supposed to do for your success. This is what you are going to meditate on. This is the words that you're going to use in order to access that success, right? You are going to talk to C, G, Z, H, or whatever the 4 letters are. You're going to talk to it like it is an angel, like it is a spirit, and you are going to ask it to lead you into your success. You are going to do this on a Sunday. Repeatedly. Keep coming into contact with this sigil, with these letters. Okay? That's going to be your guide that's going to help you get past this place that you're stuck in.
Is his? That's his?
No, that's not it. That was just an example.
Okay,
I was showing you the process, right?
Okay.
Remember, sun, moon, Mercury, Jupiter, 0 degrees Aries is A. Counterclockwise, keep repeating the alphabet until you find your 4 letters and you can make your sigil.
Yeah, definitely. That's such a secret thing.
I know. I just exposed one of my grand secrets. I can't believe I just did that. Okay. All right, guys.
Yeah, so
I think we're going to call it, right? Unless you guys have more questions.
Yeah. I'm gonna go shopping for some ritual gear.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I gotta go get some new robes. My robes are getting old. All right. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Remember to go apply for membership.
It's free.
collegeofmagicians.org/service. Apply for membership. Get your church dashboard, and we're going to start sending materials there. The power sigil that we're going to be using for the temple to cast light, keep us disconnected from this nasty egregore that everybody's waking up to right now. That is the sigil that'll get posted to the membership dashboard. And we have our spring equinox initiations coming up. It's going to be a prolonged initiation. It's going to be anywhere from 6 to 9 months. It's going to last into the fall, winter, but it's an initiation in the mysteries of Isis and Osiris in the style of the classical mystery religions. If you have not received an initiation or empowerment before, this is going to be incredibly life-changing. For those of you that have received initiations and empowerments before, it's still going to be life-changing. Yeah. This is a pretty big mystery initiation. It's limited to 10 people, and they have to be members of the temple. So, anyways, thank you.
Yeah, right. Thanks, guys, so much.
All right. I love you guys.
Yeah, I love you and appreciate you guys.
Be the light. Come on. Take responsibility, okay?
Yeah. Yes, please.